Yes, the last and third series of questions here about basic American values and how um, how they are looked upon in Denmark. What does keeping up with the Joneses mean? What evidence of this philosophy is there in your country? How does people deal with envy in your country? What gives people higher status, and what causes others to respect them? Keeping up with the Joneses is like what can you say, an excuse for buying stuff and for expanding your material wealth, buying a bigger car, buying a bigger house, buying a bigger barbecue. Generally, it's a way of the excuse of how why you're buying stuff. You cannot lose status compared to your neighbors. If they buy a new car, you have to buy a new car, and that shows how they measure wealth and success in America. How you can measure it upon the amount of stuff that you have, because you can't really see a dollar bill. So you can have a suitcase full of, you can have $1 billion, but it doesn't really show unless you buy fancy stuff. So that's like the way to show that you have success. And one of the great examples or evidence of this philosophy is the size of the shopping baskets in the mall in Denmark is growing. So when earlier they were a certain size, they over the past few years they've been bigger, and I guess that shows that people need to buy more stuff. And another example is all these TV shows about how other people live, because you cannot really compare yourself to other people with success unless you know how they live and what kind of stuff they have in their home, and you cannot really as a famous or a well-known person with success, it's a great window to show other people how successful you are, to invite a TV crew into your living room and show them how you live. So that's like for the famous people, it's like a way of saying, look how successful I am, and then they excuse it with they're just trying to be an inspiration for other people. But yeah. In Denmark there is, I guess you can say, there's a great deal of envy in Denmark. We talked about in the other video about this saying that you should not believe you are something. You should not believe you're better than us. And that's like, I guess that shows pretty well how people in Denmark, they quite easy get envy on people with success. And of course that that can be a good thing as well, because if this envy leads to you wanting to be successful yourself, then it has created some competition and development. But if you just become angry and pissed off and not wanting to do anything about it, then it's just negative. And then what gives people higher status and what causes others to respect them? I thought about it in Denmark, and we talked about in the other video about entrepreneurs, but I guess the best way to describe people with respect in Denmark is first movers, people who do things as the first. An example could be Martin Thorborg, who created UB back in the 90s. He was the first mover on this new platform called the internet in Denmark, and another example could be, and he's really respected. I mean, and rich, of course, as well. But then there's another example from the past couple of years here. I don't know when he started, 2012 maybe. A guy who lives in Djursland, just east of Aarhus, called Frank, or Bonderøven. Because even though he doesn't make a truckload of money, he's still, I think people still has a lot of respect for him, because he's trying to be self-supported, and he was one of the first movers on that subject, and he represents a new way of thinking, and even though people do not agree with this kind of thinking, I think most people respect him because he was one of the first to do it and to follow that thought of philosophy that he had. I think he's one of the people that has a lot of respect generally in Denmark. But I also think that with this individual freedom that we also have in Denmark, it creates many different heroes and many different people to respect, because people are so different, and interested in so many different things, and has so many different interests. So if you are studying at Copenhagen Business School, of course Martin Thorborg would be a bigger hero to you than Frank Bonderøven would. So I guess that was the word for me for this time. I hope you enjoyed it.